This is Vaijayanti Patil from Turbe MPS. Today we are going to deal with Introduction to Biotechnology. In that, specifically, we will be discussing about connective tissues. Students, in your last class of Science 2, you have studied about types of epithelial tissues, right? There are different types of epithelial tissues based on their structure and their functions. First is squamous epithelial tissue. These are simple cells, simple flat polygonal cells which are compactly arranged. Then next is stratified epithelium. Stratified meaning which is arranged in the layers. Stratification meaning layers. The cells are in this tissue are arranged in layers. And it is basically a mixed type of epithelium in which you can see squamous, cuboidal, and even columnar cells arranged all together in different layers. Hence, this is known as stratified epithelium. Then the next is ciliated epithelium. These are specialized epithelial cell on upper surface of which hair-like structures are seen, which are movable. These ciliated epithelial cells are specially found where the movement of the substances is needed. Say, for example, in the fallopian tube, the movement of ova. So, to make the non-movable substances movable in our internal structure, these are specialized cells with hair-like structures on the upper surface of the cells. Then the next is glandular epithelium. This is again the specialized cell. It is basically the modification of columnar epithelium, where the column-like cells have a storage and generative capacity for generation of enzymes, oils, sweat, or tear. Okay, so these are known as glandular epithelium. For example, tear gland, which is present in our eyes. Whenever something goes or whenever we become emotional, automatically tears comes out of our eyes. From where that tear comes, it comes from the tear gland. That is a glandular epithelium. Similarly, we have salivary gland in our mouth. Whenever we feel hungry or whenever we see our favorite food, watery substance, or whenever we are chewing the or having the food, the watery substance comes out, that is saliva, which is excreted or which is released by the salivary gland, which is again example of glandular epithelium. The next is cuboidal epithelium. These are also basic type of epithelium. In this, why is it known as cuboidal? Because the shape of the cell is cube-like. It looks similar to the ice cube. Okay, so it is known as cuboidal epithelium. Then last but not the least is the columnar epithelium. It is known as columnar epithelium because of its shape, which is column-like. The cells are column-like with nucleus at its base. So this is columnar epithelium. This is all about the epithelial tissue. Now, why are these epithelial tissues said to be simple tissues? See, we have discussed different types of epithelial tissues which are made up of only one single cell type. Okay, that is cuboidal cell or columnar cell or polygonal cell. Okay, hence, as it is composed of single type of cell, it is known as simple tissue. As epithelial tissues are made up of only one type of cell, they are said to be simple tissues. Now, the next question is, how are nutrients supplied to all parts of our body? If you concentrate on your body and you try to revive it, the nutrients, the food that you eat is digested in the digestive system. Whatever digested part is there, it is absorbed in our body. From the digestive system, this digested food or digested particles moves into our blood. Via blood, this nutrients reaches to each and every cell of our body. So nutrients are supplied to all parts of our body by blood. From top to the bottom of our body, each and every cell gets water, nutrient, whatever energy is required through the blood itself. Hence, blood is connecting all the parts of our body. See, blood is pumped from the heart, it goes to the lung, where it gives out carbon dioxide, absorbs oxygen, then oxygenated blood is supplied to all your body. Similarly, whatever is digested in digestive system, it is absorbed in our body or in the blood, and it is transported to all the parts of our body. Okay, so this is how now the blood, the unpure blood from entire body is collected and is brought to kidneys for the process of filtration, through which it is the waste material is being excreted. So if you see that each and every organ of our body is connected via blood. Hence, such tissues which connect one organ to the other organ of our body is known as connective tissue. In this class, we are basically going to discuss about different types of connective tissues. Now, what are these connective tissues? Tissues which join different parts of the body are called connective tissue. Remember, its function is joining or connecting one part to the other part. Hence, it is known as connective tissue. How are these tissues? Cells in these tissues are loosely arranged with a ground substance in the free space. There is a free space in which different types of cells are arranged. You'll get clear idea of it as you see the further slides. Next, there is ground substance. Around the specified cells, there is a special substance which binds these cells together, which may be a solid, liquid, or even jelly-like, viscous like a jelly. And that is known as ground substance or matrix. So remember that connective tissues connect all the parts of the body. Then it consists of different types of loosely arranged cells within the ground substance. What is this ground substance? Ground substance is also known as matrix, which is either solid or liquid or water-like or jelly-like. Okay, liquid like a water or viscous like a jelly. Now, there is not only one type of the connective tissue as we discussed about the blood, but there are different types. First is blood, which is a liquid connective tissue. Now, based on the ground substance composed in the tissue, they are classified into different types. Like when the ground substance is watery, liquid, it is called liquid connective tissue. Example is blood. Next is lymph. Lymph is also actually a blood, but it does not contain blood cells like RBC, WBCs. These cells are not present. Okay, but it is also a fluid connective tissue. Then next is areolar tissue. This is a fibrous connective tissue. It consists different types of fibers and even cells. Okay, it is the ground matter in this case is jelly-like. Next is adipose tissues. This is also known as the fat tissue, fatty tissue, as the main function of these adipose tissues is storage of fats. Next is cartilage. Now, these are fibrous connective tissue. Cartilage, then you have bones, and you have tendons and ligaments. These three, tendons and ligaments, bones and cartilage, these are fibrous connective tissue. Adipose, lymph and blood are liquid connective tissue. Adipose and alveolar are semi-solid tissues or jelly-like. Okay. Now, if you see, this is a slide of blood smear. Now, what is blood smear? How it is prepared? We just have to take a slide, a glass slide, take a drop of blood on it, and prepare a very thin layer of that blood. Stain it with a dye and then observe it under microscope. When you observe it under microscope, you can see there are different types of cells. See, these are erythrocytes, these are lymphocytes. You can see that the nucleus of each of the cell is different. This is a nucleus. Okay, lymphocyte has round and big nucleus. Eosinophil, it has bilobed nucleus. Neutrophil, it is having multi-lobed nucleus. Monocyte, it is also having very big nucleus. Basophil, it is having telephone receiver like nucleus. Okay, so erythrocytes, neutrophils, lymphocytes, eosinophils, monocytes, basophils, a single tissue, that is blood, it composed of all these types of cells, as well as it contains plasma, which is a liquidy matrix in it. Okay, so because of the composition of so many cells, it is also a complex tissue. So blood is just an example of complex tissue, but all these connective tissues are actually a complex tissue. Let us discuss about blood location. Where is blood present? It is very well known. Blood flows in the blood vessels, that is in our nerves. Okay, from the heart, which is also closed, and these are the blood veins and arteries which are closed. Okay, so blood always flows from this pipe-like structure, which are known as blood vessels. The vessel that carry oxygenated blood is known as artery, whereas the vessels that carries deoxygenated blood is known as vein. So the location of blood is closed circulatory system, as you can see it in this GIF. Now, what is composition or structure of the blood? See, in this you can see the different types of cells. This yellow colored is the plasma, that is the liquid matrix. These red colored are the RBCs or red blood cells. Then you have this whitish color, that is WBCs, as you can also see it in this WBCs, that are known as white blood cells, which helps us in fighting against any kind of infection. And then platelets, these are known as platelets. So these are the different cells which composes blood. Okay, remember RBC, RBC, erythroleukocyte WBC, platelets, and a liquid plasma. What is function of blood? Blood transports oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and the waste material throughout the body to the specific organs. Okay. Next connective tissue is lymph. Where is it present? It is present around all the cells of body. It is present around all the cells of body. This also composed of a closed circulatory system where you can see these yellow bodies. These are known as lymph nodes. Means these are like glands which secretes the lymph. They store it and then it's supplied to all the parts of the body. In the head, near the ear, in the neck, in the arm, and in the groin region, you can find the lymph node, and these are the lymph vessels which supplies the lymph to all the body. What does it consist? It consists majorly of leukocytes, that is WBCs, and liquid ground substance. In simple way, you can say that lymph is a blood minus RBCs. When you remove RBCs from the blood, it becomes lymph. And major cells in the lymphs are WBC and the plasma. What are its function? As it contains leukocytes, that is WBC, and I said WBCs are the fighter cells. They prevent any kind of infection from spreading in our body. So protection of body from infection is the major function of the lymph. Remember, in this chapter, specifically in the tissue part, what you have to remember is name of the tissue, its location, what does it consist of, and what are the functions. Okay, so it will be easier for you to answer. Now, function of lymph, if you imagine, it is just like a Pac-Man. You all must have played the game of the Pac-Man, how that Pac-Man eats the dots on the screen. Similarly, the leukocytes that are present in the lymph, they engulf, that is, they eat the infective agents or the infection in our infected cells in our body, just as you can see in this. See, this is a movable lymph and this is the fixed type where it is present at one position and it is catching the infecting agent and it is destroying it. So that is the function of lymph, protecting our body from any kind of infection. Next tissue is areolar tissue. Where is it present? It is present in between the skin and muscles and around the blood vessels. Alveolar tissue is present in between the skin, muscles, and blood vessels. What is it composed of? It is composed of different types of loosely arranged cell supported by jelly-like matrix or the elastic fiber. This is how it looks. Okay, these are the different types of cells: fibroblast, macrophages, mast, lymphocytes. This white part that you see, these are the white fibers. The yellow thin structure that you see, these are the elastin fibers. Due to presence of this white fibers and elastic fiber, it makes the tissue very elastic. The amount of elastin fiber in this tissue is more, due to which the elasticity of the tissue is higher, and hence it helps to protect the different tissues and support the internal organ. Whenever our body twists, turns, or get jerks, in that condition, it supports the internal organ and prevents the damage that might be caused because of the jerk that we feel, okay, or because of the twists and turns of our body. Next is adipose tissue. Here, I would like to discuss. You must be knowing that the polar bears, or especially all type of bears, they eat more during the polar bear, especially they eat more whenever the food is available for them, because once the winter start, the entire North Pole and the South Pole gets covered with the ice, and then they do not get the food to eat, right? So whenever the food is available, they just keep on eating. Whatever they eat is been stored in the form of fats in their body. So whenever they are not getting the food, these fats are utilized to release the energy. And the bears, that is the polar bears especially, can survive during the harsh winter seasons even if they do not get food for the entire season. Okay, that rate or the ratio of their survival depends on how much fat is deposited in their body, because that is going to give them energy throughout the winter. Even we have experienced that those who are fat feels very hot, okay, they sweat a large. Now why does this happen? Or during the winter season, they do not feel much cold. Now why this happens? It is because of the layer of the adipose tissue, that is storage of the fat, that releases the heat, and hence the person does not feel cold. Okay, now let us see about the structure of adipose tissue. Where is it present? It is present below the skin and internal organ. You can see over here. Okay, the person who is obesity, in those people you can see the layers of cholesterol all over the lower body, especially in the hand region, that is in the arms, in the lower body, that is in the stomach, okay, or even in the face. This generally composed of specialized cells which are having fat droplets and a jelly like ground substance. See, this is how, sorry, this is how the fat cells look like, the adipose tissue look like. You can see this yellow part, it is actually a stored fat, and this is a nucleus. So you can see that entire cell is filled with fats, and a layer of such fat cells are formed below the skin and around the internal organs. What is the function? As we discussed, it provides insulation. During winter season, it maintains the body temperature and keeps the body warm. It provides insulation. It supplies energy when whenever the energy is required and the person does not eat for longer period of time, then these fats are dissolved and the energy is released. So it is a storage of energy. It is actually a storage of energy. Next tissue is cartilage. Where are these cartilage present? It is present in the tip of nose, ear, in between all the joints. In between all the joints. See, this is backbone. This blue structure that you see here is a fibrocartilage. Okay, so in between each the vertebrae, then at each joint, here, 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 everywhere you see a cartilage tissue. Nose, ear, larynx, trachea. Larynx and trachea, that is in the neck region. Okay. Structure. It composed of fibrous cells or the specialized cells that are known as chondrocytes. Remember, in case of cartilage, the cells are known as chondrocytes. These chondrocytes are embedded within the fibrous substance, the white fibers or yellow fibers, amount of which may vary according to the position of the cell or the cartilage tissue. Okay, see, this is the structure. When you take this section of the cartilage tissue and observe it under microscope, you can see a structure like this. There is a empty space that is known as lacuna. Within that lacuna, the cell is present, which are known as chondrocyte. So this whitish structure that you see is an empty space that is called as lacuna. And within that, the pink cells that you see, they are known as chondrocytes. And this pinkish structure that you see all around the chondrocyte, this is known as fibrous supportive matrix. Now, what is its function? Its main function is lubrication. Lubrication from what? Whenever we move our joints, if there is no cartilage, the bones will rub on each other, which is very painful. See, whenever there is a slip disc problem in the people, or in case of our knee, the kneecap, okay, if that kneecap gets degenerated, which is made up of fibrous connective tissue, that is cartilage tissue, if that gets degenerated, it is very painful to move the legs or to walk. Okay. Why? Because due to degeneration of this cartilage, the movement causes friction of the bones. So the bones get rubbed on each other, due to which it becomes painful. The movement becomes painful. Secondly, it gives support to the tissue. And third is, it gives shape to the organ. Where in case of ears, see, whatever the shape of your ear pinna, it is due to the cartilage that is present within the ear pinna. Similarly, at the tip of the nose, also cartilage tissue is present. See, you can just touch and feel it is very soft. Okay, you can twist it a little because it is that elastic. Okay, now based on the shape of the cartilage that is present on the tip of your nose, the shape of your nose depends. Okay, so it also gives shape to the organs beside providing lubrication and support to the body parts. Okay, so remember, cartilage are present in the nose, ear, larynx, trachea. It is made up of specialized cells that are known as chondrocytes, which are embedded in a fibrous connective or in a fibrous jelly-like matrix. Its function is providing lubrication to the bone surfaces, providing support to the organs, and providing shape to the parts of your body. Next is bones. Bones. You all know about bones. Our entire body consists bones. So what is the location? Skeleton. Entire skeleton. From the head to the tip of your toes and your hand, it consists of bones. So skeleton is made up of bones. This is how, if you take a section of bones, it will look like. Okay. In this also you have specialized cells which are known as osteocytes, which are protected by a thin layer which is known as lamellae. One unit of this osteo or the bone is known as osteon. Okay. This is how the transverse section, that is when you cut the bone into a thin layer and observe it under microscope, you can see this structure. See, these pink cells, these are the cells of bones. They are known as osteocytes. These osteocytes are connected to each other by canaliculi, and there is a Harvesian canal which has the opening for arteries, veins, and the blood vessels. Okay. So what does it consist of? The bone consists of osteocytes embedded in solid ground substance made up of calcium and phosphate. You all can feel these when bones, you all have seen bones and it is present within your body, the hard structure which gives shape to our body, because of which we are able to stand, able to walk or run. Okay. It is made up of specialized cells which are known as osteocytes, and which is embedded within the matrix made up of calcium phosphate. And hence, if there is deficiency of calcium phosphate in our body, the bones might become brittle and break. Okay. Next, what is function of this? It provides supports, it provides our, it protects our internal vital organs. Okay, see, this is a rib cage within which lungs is present. Just in front of the lung, heart is present. So all these organs are protected. The skull, brain is present in the skull. So skull protects the brain. This is the vertebral column within which spinal cord is present. So it prevents or protects the spinal cord, and it also supports the body. Okay. So its main function is support and protect different vital organs, and it helps in movement. As you see, it is helping in walking, running, writing, each and every, because of the joints that are present in our bones. We can move our body easily. Next is tendons and ligaments. Now, what are these tendons and ligaments, or where they are present? They are present at the joints. Which joints? We'll discuss this. See, in this structure, you can see these are muscles, these are bones. So this white fibers, this white fibrous structure is known as tendon. Here, the muscle is attached to the bone with the help of tendon. So tendon binds muscles to the bone. If you see this part, here, see, here muscles are not there, but one bone is connected to the other bone, right? One bone is connected to the other bone, and this whitey structure that you see at the joint, these are known as ligaments. Ligaments are very thin fibers which connects a bone to the bone. Okay, remember this difference. Tendons connects muscles to the bones, whereas ligaments connect bones to the bones. Structure, it is made up of strong fibers. Tendons are made up of strong fibers and they are less elastic. It is actually known as collagen fiber. Okay, the protein type in that is collagen. So it is made up of collagen fiber and hence tendons are stiff. They are less elastic. Whereas ligaments are very thin and they are made up of elastic fiber or a protein known as elastin. Hence, it is very strong and highly flexible. So, you cannot move your muscles for more period or for the greater extent, but you can move your joints to the greater extent. It is due to the flexibility of the elastin fibers present in the ligaments. Function of tendon is to join muscles to the bone. Remember this point very strongly. Tendon joins muscles to the bone, whereas ligaments, they join bones to the bones. It is one. Okay. Now, let us review what we have studied today. We have studied about different connective tissues that are present in our body. First tissue that we discussed was blood. Blood is also known as liquid connective tissue as it is composed of many types of cells: WBC, RBC, plasma, platelets. They are known as complex tissue. Due to the liquid matrix, it is also known as liquid connective tissue. Where is it present? Blood is present in a closed circulatory system. It is circulated from the heart to the entire or the all parts of the body from the blood vessels. Okay. Then the second type that we have studied was the loose connective tissue. Okay. Where are these present? It is present below the skin and in between the muscles and also around the blood vessels. Okay. This is known as alveolar tissue. Alveolar tissue also consists of different types of cells and fibers, which provides flexibility to the tissue. Okay. Function of this tissue is to provide support to the other tissue. It is supportive in function. Then we have studied about adipose tissue. Where is it present? It is present under the skin, just below the skin. A layer of adipose tissue can be seen, and even around the organs, like around the heart, in the blood vessels. If the fat gets deposited, it's the adipose tissue. It forms the layers. How? There are the specialized cells which stores the fats. Due to storage of fats, it forms a thick layer below the skin. Okay. Then next tissue that we have studied was the cartilage. Cartilage is a supportive tissue which is present between all the joints of our body. Okay. May it be the vertebrae of the vertebral column, May it be the hand, shoulder, knees, joints. In each and every joint, in between all the joints, we see the cartilage, as well as at the tip of our nose, in the larynx, in the trachea, in the ears, we have the cartilage tissue. It consists of specialized cell that is known as chondrocytes. These chondrocytes are embedded in the fibrous matrix, that is a fibrous ground tissue. Due to presence of these fibers, the cartilage has more flexibility as compared to the bone. Function of cartilage is it is protective in nature, it is lubricating, it lubricates at the joint, or it avoids the friction of the bones during movements, as well as it gives shape to the specific organs where they are present. Then the tissue, next connective tissue was bone. We have studied that bone consists of specialized cell that is known as osteocytes. Osteocytes are embedded in a solid matrix that is made up of calcium phosphate, and hence the bones are very hard and very strong. If there is deficiency of calcium phosphate, the bones might become brittle and it may break, leading to fractures. Now, what is the function of this bone? The bones, first of all, provides support to the entire body. We can stand, we can walk, we can perform any movement only because of the joints of these bones. It protects our vital organs like skull, which protects our brain, vertebral column that protects our spinal cord, the rib cage that protects our lungs, our heart. Okay, so the other important function is protection of the vital organ. The joints that are present in the bone helps us for the movement. Next connective tissue that we have studied is a fibrous connective tissue. It is made up of fibers that are known as tendons and ligaments. Now, you can see here this white structure, tendons. It attaches the muscles to the bone. Tendons are basically made up of white collagen fiber. It is a protein. It is made up of protein that is known as collagen, and it connects muscles to the bones. That is tendon. The second fibrous connective tissue is ligaments. Ligaments are present at the joints of the bone. Ligaments, they are made up of elastin fiber and they connect bone to the bone. The bone joints are connected to each other with the help of ligaments. So this is all about the connective tissues. Let us discuss the assignment. There is a brief question regarding this. Give an account on structure and functions of different connective tissue. Now you can answer this question according to the marks. If it is for 4 mark, you answer about any 4 connective tissue that are easy for you to remember. Okay. Sometimes specific tissues are asked and its functions are asked. Functions and locations are asked. So you can talk about that. So basically this is a chart about the type, location, structure and function of your connective tissues. You can just take a screenshot so that you can complete it in your book, or it is also given in your textbook from where you can copy it down. Remember, in this part especially, you have to remember these 4 things, that is type, location, structure and its function. As in case of blood, it is present in closed circulatory system. It composed of erythrocytes, or easily you can write WBC, RBC, even then you get the mark. WBC, RBC, platelets in a liquid plasma. Function, transportation of oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and waste. Next is lymph. It is present all around the cells. Okay. It consists of leukocyte, that is WBC, and liquid plasma. What is function? It provides protection from the infection. Then alveolar tissue. Where is it present? It is present in between the skin and muscles and around the blood vessels. It composed of different cells and fibers, that is white fiber and elastic fiber, which provides its elasticity. Its function is support the internal organs. Next is adipose tissues. These are present below the skin and in the internal organ or around the internal organ. They basically consist of the cells that stores the fat droplets in it. Okay, and its function is providing insulation, supply of energy, and storage of fats. Next is cartilage, which is present in the nose, ear, larynx, and trachea. It is made up of flexible fibrous tissue, and its function is providing lubrication at the surfaces of the bone and give support and shape to the organ. The next is bone. It is present in the entire skeleton. It is comprised of the osteocytes, which are embedded in the solid ground substance that is made up of calcium phosphate. It supports and protects the internal organs, internal vital organs, and it also helps in movement. Then last is tendons and ligaments. These are fibrous connective tissue. They are present at the joint. Tendons are less flexible and made up of collagen fiber, and they connect muscles to the bones, whereas ligaments are strong and highly elastic due to presence of elastin fibers, and they connect bones to the bones. So this is all about this chapter, this part of the chapter. I hope you all have understood it very well. If in case you have any doubt, we can discuss it. Thank you all for listening to the lecture quietly.